They look stupid. No matter what. We both look dumb with it.
They look dumb.
They're dumb, but that's okay. That's what we're doing today.
We're just looking dumb today.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Welcome to Unmasking Shame, the podcast. I'm Heidi.
And I'm Austin Hatch.
And what do we want to talk about today?
You introduced a topic to me this week about I'm not that guy anymore.
Ooh, yes. I love this topic.
Yeah, I'm curious because we haven't really talked much about it at all.
No.
I'm curious what you were thinking.
I consistently hear after longer periods of healing or different situations, and I've been in the addiction world, so it's a lot of like with addictions when someone is sober or not doing the behavior, whatever it is anymore, they will say to their partner, well, I'm not that guy anymore. Or they'll even say in therapy, like, Heather, I'm not that person anymore. Like, why can't it, like, why are all these things still being held against me? And it's just, it hits on the shame wound still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I've been thinking a lot about, like, yeah, they are doing better. Yes, these things are different. But ultimately, like, if someone is saying that, they're still not fully accountable to what happened.
No, because there's a highly entitled message layered in there.
Ooh, say more.
Well, I'm assuming this is in response to something, right? Like, I'm not that guy anymore is in response to either talking about the past, referring to the past, feelings coming up about the past that might be activated or triggered in the present.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an attempt to calm this down, calm your feelings down. You shouldn't feel that way because that's not me anymore.
Yeah.
You should be over it is maybe the entitled message.
Yeah.
I'm entitled to you not looking at me that way anymore because I'm different.
Yeah, I mean, what I was just thinking about as you were talking is like, I am not that guy anymore, and you should be grateful I'm not that guy anymore, and you should be grateful for what you're getting right now, that it's not that bad. Ugh.
Don't like that at all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, it's gross.
It is gross.
And I think too, it's an indication of like a lack of differentiation between the two people. Meaning, like I'm only okay still as long as you're okay with me.
Yes.
So there's still a part of my identity that's wrapped up in how you see me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really the most important thing to me is that you see me accurately, and I get to determine what is accurately for you.
Well, we need to break that down because so that is, you're saying that in this situation, if I'm the one saying I'm not that person anymore, and I'm defending myself against whatever it is that you're feeling, this other person is feeling, I am still so wrapped up in how they see me.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And why is that a problem?
Well, there's a few things there that I would maybe dive into, but first, it puts a lot of responsibility on the other person to kind of manage your emotional state. So, like, let's say this, like, you're the one that's not that person anymore, and I'm feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
I not only become responsible for my emotional state, but managing yours, because you're only okay if I'm positive about you. So that means I'm responsible for two.
So I make you responsible not only for managing my emotions and making you see me a certain way, and you also can't have a response to whatever it is that I'm doing.
Yes, and I think that where the most damage that I see is to intuition. It is a killer of the intuition because now I'm feeling a certain way and you're telling me you shouldn't feel that way.
No, because I'm not as bad as I once was. So
and so
get over it.
Either I question you, my options are to question you or myself.
But I've taught you, don't question me. Only question me as if I'm doing the bad behavior.
Yeah. And because the bad behavior is gone now, you have no right to question. I would imagine in a lot of these scenarios, it's not even questioning. It's just like expressing an emotion. Like talking about myself. I'm feeling hurt or I'm feeling scared. And then you personalizing that statement as if I'm making a statement about you and not about myself, which is usually what I notice a lot in my clients. It's like, well, my wife says she's really scared. It sounds like she's talking about herself. What does that have to do with you? You might have contributed to the fear, but she's making a statement about her experience. why are you the main character in this story?
Yeah, why are you the main character? I think that's true for so many people, is that they are the main character and yet they don't want to be the main character, but yet they're still doing all the things that put them in main character role.
Yeah, and I would even go as far to say is they don't want to be the villain in the story.
Oh, yes.
They want to
That's
be
really
the hero.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
They might not want to be the loud hero, but they're still like they have to be seen as the good guy, the right guy, doing the right things. There's that performer weapon that shows up a lot in this kind of dialogue, where you have couples arbitrating like whether or not a feeling is okay or not, which is a wild thing to do in the first place.
Yes.
But I do think they want to be the main character, as long as they're, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a cool main character from a movie like Superman, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think as you're saying that, I'm seeing that like, okay, so we're talking about this, like, I'm not that guy anymore, or I'm not that person anymore, in the performer weapon.
Yes.
And it is actually, it can be in any of them.
Well, I would, like, it's in this, like how we're talking about it right now, I'm not only veining expertise, so I'm the expert on myself and you.
And what you should be doing.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Wild thing to do. And I'm highlighting my performance as a way to justify that as being right.
And don't kick me down because I'm doing better. So sad puppy in that way too.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like I got to get my way here, and your eyes are the key to me getting my way. So see me differently. See me the right way.
Yeah, and why do people want you to, like, why does that happen? Like, why are we in this place where people need to be seen a certain way?
Well, when you ask that question, why? Well, I have to admit, my least favorite question. Why am I this way? Why do I keep doing that? And I think I always want to encourage people, like, really hone in on the what you're doing first. Like, get really honest with yourself about what you're doing in that moment, which we're talking about. You're putting all the emotional responsibility on the other person so that you can be seen and okay, and seen in a better light and be okay. Where I think about why I think about those developmental stages a lot of is like, what is this a product of?
Yeah.
Because it is in its very nature like a very transactional way of being in relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Me simply doing things differently or not doing certain things entitles me to you treating me better. Okay. I'm deserving of it. So I've paid my down payment, and I've paid it for a period of time. I've changed. Therefore, you should not feel a certain way about me ever again.
Okay, so I hear two things in that. The first thing I hear that's like screaming is like attachment. Yes. Wounds and attachment. And we can get into that if that would be helpful today. But the second thing I hear is I've changed, and that I've only committed to this one level of change.
Yes.
Right? Like, so if we think about some of the work that we do around, like, once the truth comes out, if someone was keeping secrets, all of a sudden it's like, well, I've told the truth, so now it's all out there. And that's where I see so many people coming and finding me later on in their recovery process. Because I've had a couple of clients that have come to me after 7 years of recovery or 7 years of sobriety or 10, whatever it is, a number. And they're like, the behavior stopped 7, 10, 12 years ago, but that my marriage still sucks. And it's like, oh, you just stopped the behavior. You didn't actually engage in healing and change and all of that. It's just, sometimes I forget, and I don't know if this is just because I've been a therapist for so long, but I forget that people think that like growth is fixed. Like once you change, it's just done. Like
there's an arrival point.
There's like, I get to this version. I mean, like I have an iPhone and I have gone down the whole like Apple product. Like that's what I use. So I just think about all of the like updates that we get, the upgrades. It's like 13.1 and 13.2. And it's like all of those versions are so important for the updates. I don't know, maybe sometimes my phone works worse after I do an update, which is
there's
true
a lesson
about,
in there as well.
There's some truth to that as humans as well. Is that when I do make changes, it doesn't always work well for everybody else.
No, not everybody likes the changes.
No.
Yeah.
It kind of went off on
no.
That
I think that's the lane that is probably more well served than the attachment lane, just simply with where people are at. Because if I'm saying this, if let's pretend for a moment, because I've done this, like I'm not that guy anymore, and I'm saying that, that usually is an indication that I am also communicating like I've changed enough.
Yeah.
I've done my part. Now it's your turn.
Stop it. Oh, we're going there today.
Well, it's the beginning of that. You're
So
setting the stage for that conversation, so it's predictable, right?
okay. We need to go back with that. I've done the changing. Now it's your turn.
Yeah. Because it takes two to tango.
Oh my God.
There can't just be one problem in the house. It's got to be equal.
Yeah, so that actually like stems from a lot of what I was thinking about for this as well, which is like people like that transactional thing
Yes.
around like I've changed, now you need to go fix yourself because I've already fixed myself. And it's like, oh, you're not still willing to see that the impact of your behavior is what they need to go work on.
Yeah.
And so you're still putting them in a position to take care of shit for you.
Yeah. It's your turn.
Your turn.
You're
Gross. Gross.
You're up because I've done groups, I've done therapy, I've done intensives. Look at my list of to-dos that are checked off. It's your turn now. So then you get the recruiter language where if I'm not getting you to move, I'll go bring this other places and kind of talk about how much, I've just changed so much in the last few years. I'm just excited for the work my wife is going to be doing now because she's just been really struggling and she doesn't seem to trust me. And I know I'm trustworthy, and so it just tells me she's got a lot of work to do.
It also reminds me of early stage of betrayals coming out in relationships where like I don't get this as much because in general the people that find me, I'm like their third or fourth therapist because they've been looking for a specific person for so long and going to all of this quote unquote bad therapy and is not helpful, and then they finally find the right person, they find what they're looking for. And very rarely do I get like this just happened yesterday, like the D-Day sort of thing, or the big explosion of their relationship. But what happens in those early stages is we'll get a call from the person who did the bad thing, whatever the betrayal is, and they're like, we need your help, but my wife needs it more right now. My wife needs it way more right now. And they're not wrong because the trauma of what happened is so acute and intense, and they're watching this thing, but the focus is on help them because I finally told the truth. Like I'm good now. Like, and not that they are good, but the focus is on help this person become okay with me.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're wrong in their motivation, and their motivation to get their partner help isn't rooted in caring for the partner. It's rooted in making my life easier.
Correct.
I don't actually care about her pain. I only care about her pain because it's impacting me.
Yeah, well, I have a divorce sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be divorced. So if I don't want to be divorced, you need to fix this person. Because if I don't want to be divorced, I already know what I'm going to do. So then the other person has to figure out like if they want to get divorced or not. And then that means I need them to fix that about them to stay with me.
Yeah. So then you're, by definition, paying a therapist to try to manipulate your spouse into staying in a relationship with you.
Yeah, I don't do that shit.
Money well spent, yes.
Don't do that shit. But so I guess I'm kind of going off on a tangent because we were talking about like I'm not that guy anymore, or that person anymore, or I'm not them anymore, really doesn't actually help the relationship move forward.
No, and I say this in different variations all the time with my clients. Like, if that statement is true, why do you need to convince me of it?
Exactly.
Like, who is that convincing for? Because it's not like I don't need to be convinced. So why am I being convinced? It needs to be enough for the individual, but it can't require anything from anybody else.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, I can't remember the exact scenario, so I won't be able to tell the exact story of it. But there was a moment, I think it was with one of my parents, and I could sense how they were talking to me as though I was a version of myself that would have activated out of that. And I, in that moment, knew I had a choice. So instead of doing the old pattern of reacting to what they were saying and getting mad, getting upset, and throwing a tantrum or whatever it was that I would do because there are versions of me that would do that at different times. And yes, I was responding to stuff that they were doing, but ultimately I have choices in how I want to show up.
Yeah.
I get to choose those things. And I chose not to do that. And I don't need them to celebrate that I did it different. I also don't need to convince them that I'm not that person anymore. I had a choice internally on how to show up.
Why? Well, one, I love what you just said, but for that population that is trying to convince, like, what's so tempting about it? Because I hear that scenario, and a lot of people would be like, well, I want them to see me differently. I want them to acknowledge me differently. I want them to notice that I've changed. Like, there is almost like a desperation to be validated.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't want that.
Why not?
It doesn't help me. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't actually make me feel better about myself. I have learned the most about healing and growth when I truly feel it and feel better in relationships and can see. It's almost like, I don't know if this is the right way to describe it, because it's not a boundary in the sense I'm setting a boundary, but I see the line between me and them so much more clearly, and that is so healing to know the difference, because I spent a lot of my life not knowing the difference between me and a lot of other people, because I'm someone who just gives and gives and gives. And so someone being like, oh, Heather, you really changed, I would actually find that being a little bit invasive. I don't need that from them. That isn't something that I'm looking for. I know it.
Well, I don't know about you, it can feel really gross when it happens. Like, if I'm trying to pull it out of people.
Yeah.
Or if I catch myself doing that, I'll be like, oh, I'm essentially recognizing, like, I'm using you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to use people.
Yeah.
To validate my own ego.
Yeah.
If what I believe about myself is true, it should require no external validation. Like, I get to embody that. And that's really empowering, actually, to believe it.
Well, that's why I don't think validation in therapy is all that helpful unless people are actually making changes. I only punctuate when people do things well.
Yeah.
I don't punctuate when they're trying but not really.
Yeah.
No, I'm not dancing around that. I don't have time for that.
I appreciate you saying that. I chuckle sometimes when I find those moments to actually validate change, and it's like staring at a deer in the headlights, because it's like they don't know what to do with that validation, because it's not the validation they were wanting or looking for, and so it feels really foreign. But that always makes me chuckle when that shows up. No, when you're talking about kind of showing up differently with your family, that type of, it's hard to articulate that experience. It's hard to talk about, like, what is that experience of actually knowing.
Well, my best example actually is somewhat happening right now, because I realize that I'm a little hungry and I didn't plan for my day very well. But I am a classic hangry person, like classically hangry. Like, most of my life, like, anytime I was like in a bad mood, it was mostly like, oh, she needs something to eat.
It's like my son, my oldest.
Yes, I remember dinner
you've seen.
I did at your house. Literally, he took a bite of food and was like, power up.
Oh, it was wild.
It was so amazing. I loved it so much. I was like, so relatable little man. But now, when that happens, I find myself I'm so grouchy. It is insane to me, and I don't even want to be around myself. And so I had these moments now. Before, it was everyone else's problem that I was hungry. Now I am upset that this is my problem I have to deal with, because I'm dealing with myself. I'm so grumpy, and I don't even want to be around me.
So you're articulating responsibility. I just
Correct.
want to highlight that.
Yeah.
Like, that is a response. You're acknowledging something
Yes.
that is true for you, but at no point are you saying, take care of me, Austin. And nobody does that overtly typically, but you're not handing it over. You're saying, I'm upset with myself that I did not plan for something.
Yes.
Knowing myself as well as I do, I'm irritated about that.
I am.
Yeah.
I am irritated.
That's a
about
responsible statement.
Yeah, well, I find it happens a lot when I'm driving home from work, because I do have long days, and I'll be driving and I'll be irritated with the car in front of me, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, road rage is the most irrational type of anger I can have in this world. I'm like, I know I'm hungry now. I know, because I know myself well enough. People can be dumb drivers, but ultimately, my irritability is my problem, and if I take it out on that car, that's also then them having to deal with me not taking care of myself and me not thinking through and taking responsibility.
Love it. I do think, how do I want to say this? That's not a relationship I'm interested in having if I'm constantly trying to get the other person to change how they see me. Like, that's exhausting because I can't both attune to them and their pain as well as their perception of me or what I think their perception is of me. Like, those are in competition. Like, I'm so focused on myself, I can't ultimately care for them in the ways that would be fruitful to a relationship.
Well, I also, as you're saying this, I'm like, this is crazy to me. I need everyone to see me the way I want them to see me.
Yeah, it's a wild thing.
That's like, I would rather be in relationships. Like, I have had some friends will say things about me, and like, actually, this is very funny. I'm on a group text of this book club, and we have a book that we're looking at reading in a couple months here. And I am on the group chat, but like, we all don't have each other's numbers saved in our phone, except for I found out one person has me saved in their phone as Cool Heather. I'm like, I am the least cool. Like, I don't see myself as cool at all. Like, I do not see myself that way. But the fact that someone else does, that's really lovely. I love to learn that about how someone sees me. I don't need them to see me as cool, but the fact that she does, and she's like, no, you're Cool Heather to me. And I was like, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what other Heathers you have in your phone, and I don't want to participate in knowing that, because that might make me feel bad about myself. But the fact that that's how she sees me was really lovely. I don't know her on a really deep level.
Yeah.
I know her through a few things, but like learning how other people see me. Like, I remember even like chatting with a colleague about how they like see me, and people see me as intimidating or all these things, and I actually had it reflected back to me of like, oh, you're just really insightful, and so you scare the shit out of people because they see something about you that they are worried that you might see in them, or things like that. So as you're saying this, like, I'd rather know what people see rather than me dictate how they see me.
Yeah.
I don't know, that just stood out to me.
What I think that individual that's saying I'm not that guy anymore typically is responding to being seen accurately. And I think that's very scary for a lot of people is you see me. You see something that I've worked so hard to not let other people see, and you see it right now. And so I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to divert your attention away from that.
So that's why we say this as shame. Like, I think when we come back down to it, like, people talk about this, they ask us a lot, like, why is this shame? Why are you doing stuff around shame? And it's like, because that's where we see people are responding the most poorly in their relationships.
Yes. Yeah, they suck at responding out of their shame. Big time.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you do need really helpful mirrors along the way. And I love, we were talking about kind of what do we want to be known for? Like, we are truth tellers. And it's the greatest form of kindness that we know.
Yes.
And it can be, what it can mean often is that we see you. And I know you don't want to be seen this way. I probably wouldn't even say that, but like, I see you.
Yeah.
And I see you honestly. And I'm not going to take the assignment of changing how I see you because it's uncomfortable for you. That actually tells me we're right where we need to be.
Dang. That's really cool.
And I think if you're not that guy anymore, then okay, you don't need to tell anybody about it.
Yes.
Just be.
Why make that anyone else's problem?
Be who you are then. And if somebody's got a problem with that, that's their problem.
And I don't know, maybe this is like the therapy nerd in me, but I love when I have, like, although like when I look at my therapist, when she's like, oh, I think we have this to work on next time. I was like, damn it, another thing. I thought maybe today was the day I got to tell you that I don't have to come back here anymore, but nope, see you next week. But I also really love that I have something else to look at and explore. Like, I think, I don't know if I said this, I don't think I said this on a podcast. I heard this recently, and I wish I knew exactly who it was that said it. But she essentially was talking about how the fact that she doesn't ever feel lonely because she is, like, when she's by herself, is that she enjoys her own company. And I like want to be a person that enjoys my own company because then I am good company in general. Because if I enjoy hanging with myself, I imagine other people might enjoy hanging with me as well and being in relationship. And so I just loved that that was such a beautiful version. And I will figure out who it is so we can credit them because I don't want to steal that.
Well, I also like the idea that there's all, we were talking about this the other day where a lot of people come to the table saying like it could be worse, and I think I'm not that guy anymore is also a version of that.
Yes.
It's like, but it could be a lot better too.
Yes. Why are we talking if you don't want me to live in the past? Why are you telling me it could be worse?
Well, I think about professional athletes.
Okay.
They're at the top. Like, they're the greatest athletes in the world. The amount of time they still dedicate to getting better is insane.
Insane. Yes. Yes.
Like, insane. Their lives are organized around getting better
yes.
and having more of an edge, and then getting better even more than that. And they
Or even
continue to
staying
improve.
at where they're at.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to stay at that level or get any better, you have to keep on training and practicing and doing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so it could always be better.
But people don't see that with emotions
Which is
or
wild.
behaviors, which is really wild.
Yeah, it's like, it's okay if you're playing hockey or basketball or football or some sport.
Or even getting better at your sales job or getting
yeah.
better at whatever your job might be. I'm allowed to get better, but when it comes to my relationship, you should just accept me for who I am and not expect any more from me. Gross. That's wild.
Yeah, complacency is a very unpleasant dynamic in a lot of relationships. Be grateful for what you got.
Ugh, that one's hard for me.
Yeah, well, it's like, I didn't get married to compare my partner to everybody else's partner. Like, I got married to my partner.
And she's wonderful.
She is wonderful. It's like, and she didn't get married to me to be compared to everybody else's partner either. That was not something she wanted or wanted to sign up for. And vice versa. She doesn't want to compare me to every Joe Schmo out there. And I don't want to be compared. I want to be held to the standard that I've committed to and what she expects, and go to build and grow together is a really cool thing.
You say this a lot, which is, what are you committed to?
Yeah.
And so if I say, I'm not that guy anymore, I'm not that person anymore, you're actually saying that, like, the level of commitment I have stops right here.
Yep, it's done.
This is it. This is the amount of that I'm willing to commit to. And that's a bar that you have to evaluate. Like, is this it? And then does that other person see that this is the bar as well? And this is all that you've committed to?
And usually not. They don't get to see the bar. It's very covertly communicated and trained into them. It's not like, hey, my bar is this many sessions, this much change. It's hard to really evaluate what that is. It's just like, no, I know I'm good. I know I'm different, therefore you should.
Therefore you should.
Because I am the king.
Or back to kings again.
It's just that king energy, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is. It's this dominant, very powerful, or in power, controlling voice that's saying the way you are feeling is wrong. Change it. Change your face. Don't look at me that way. You got work to do.
Or don't respond out of, like, the other part of this is, because of the work that I do, I work with a lot of people who have a lot of trauma in their story, or a lot of trauma around the behavior that impacted their dynamic in their relationship. And so, like, if I'm thinking about people who struggled with addiction and they're no longer drinking, so often it's like, well, just be grateful for the fact that I'm not drinking anymore. But yet all the triggers of the way they used to behave and the things they used to say and all the things that happened, the look that they would get on their face at different times, they want their partners to never, ever be triggered by those things again if they haven't done the work. Like, they get to a certain place of, like, I'm not doing those things anymore. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not doing that. Just because I said something about whatever, doing the laundry, like I did in the past, like, don't get mad at it now because I'm not drinking and doing that. And this one's hard for me because it's really, like, there is this thing of, like, the other person's reaction becomes a problem. The fact that my wife is upset with me for saying this thing about the laundry, or this thing about the dishes, or this thing about whatever, and she's having a response as though I am doing it to her like I did in the past. People will say, I need her to not do that behavior. I need her to work on that thing, her to be better, her to apologize, because she yelled at me. She yelled at me in this. She yelled at me that I was being a jerk and that I was being an asshole. And nope, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. She did it. She called me names.
My 4-year-old daughter, we were talking about listening. And I especially get sensitive when they don't listen to my wife. And she's pregnant, and I'm like, I know they're 4. It's important to listen. And so we were talking about listening, and my daughter goes, do you listen to mommy? I said, what an insightful question that you have. I said, I do listen to your mom. I said, I used to not, though. And when I didn't listen to your mom, my life looked a lot different. And when I started listening to your mom, my life started to change pretty dramatically. because she saw things that I chose not to see.
Yes.
And I think that is the difference for a lot of people, is it's almost like, if I were to listen to this person, I lose my power. If I were to listen to this person, I lose something. And it's like, you gain so much by allowing your partner to become a mirror at times, even though it's not their job. Like, if you actually listen, you will learn both about them and yourself and what you're doing that's harming them. Yeah. And it can be really fruitful.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my wife's job to point out all my flaws. But if I listen to her, I might notice some things that I could stand to work on that might benefit her and myself and my family. And then life might get a little better, because it could be better. Always.
I love how gentle it is that you came after what I just said, because what I was saying was really pretty intense. Mm-hmm. And you're making it sound so simple. It is that simple of like, can I listen to what she's actually saying? Like, it is that simple.
Yes.
But people complicate it of like, oh, but she had the tone, which,
yes.
You know how I feel about that one. And because the tone is not centering the correct problem. Yeah. We're centering the correct problem here by actually listening to what she has to say.
Yeah.
That right there is the easiest step of like, can I just listen to her? Yeah. Can I listen to her that she feels controlled? Can I listen that she feels upset by this? Can I listen to the thing that she's actually saying, and then figure out what I need to do?
Yeah, she's talking about herself. Can I pay attention to her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't be the main character.
But she called me an asshole.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, probably we're being one. Because you're sure acting like one now.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's like that affording the other person the ability to feel and express and know, like, when we are feeling deeply, it's not a free pass to go act out and be an idiot, but like, it also means like, you're feeling really deeply right now, and that gets to be a part of my filter. And so I'm going to receive what you're communicating through that lens, like, this person is feeling a lot right now.
Yeah.
And deeply and painfully. And I can afford them that space to be able and not be like critique every way in which they're communicating that feeling. Like, well, hey, before you continue, could you just kind of turn your volume down a little bit? It's a little loud for my ears. I could really hear you better if you changed your tone. It's like, what the fuck? Or you could just listen and know this isn't about you, all of it, because you're not the main character.
Uh-huh.
And then your partner, wife, spouse, husband could get the experience of like someone empathizing with them and being with them in their pain, which is a really cool experience.
Yeah.
And not trying to fix it.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, so don't be that guy anymore. And just don't brag about it.
Yeah, and you don't need anyone to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Because change behavior is felt. Change behavior is felt when you truly work on changing something. People feel it, and most of all, you do.